like Chicago. We got a winter storm warning for Chicago, Midwest, Great Lakes. Going east after. Look at this freaking crazy dog. What you doing, psycho? He loves this. Look at him, like a freaking NASCAR garbage. Freaking nut. Anyways, a quick life hack on your chickens. Hang on. It's going to be 30 mile plus mile an hour winds in about 4 more hours. So we're always prepared as much as you can. Now, I had a tornado last year, a year and a half ago, that took our power out for almost a week. We stayed there. Everybody else went to motels and shit. Not everybody, but most of you did. And then you don't get mad. It teaches you your chinks in the armor. No offense if you're Chinese. That's not what that means. It's for you young people that are woke. By the way, I changed my Facebook page, one of them, to Uri. Look up who Uri was. Like the ex-KGB guy that told you how Russia, the old Soviets, were subverting the United States to take it over. It would take about 30 years. He was right on the money. All your woke garbage. Even our military's woke. See, they're wearing high-heeled shoes. So, good luck. I think China and Russia will be afraid of that. Anyways, if you don't have chicken, you're going to be going down the road. There's a thing called agenda something. Starts with the number 30. That's, by the way, a stepping point in their plan. They made this plan in 96. And by the way, this snow and ice is brought to you by Siberia. Siberia is in Russia, for those of you that are retarded and don't know your geography or whatever. Like, look north. So there's a thing called fifth generation war. You see how that works? No, you don't. But I read the manual. You should read the cliff notes at least. And when you see this garbage, it's really early in the season for this Arctic blast, as they're calling it. The Siberian rail, as I'm calling it. And by the way, yesterday, what was that? It was yesterday the solstice? What day was it? Yeah, I'm losing track of time. Was that yesterday, right? Yesterday was the high holiday for these dark arts. The militaries of the world, it's called, because they do nothing without checking their star charts and all that garbage. See how that works? Yesterday was a dark arts holiday, and USA and Russia and Ukraine were in the news, right in your face, doing a ceremony. You see the Three Amigos over there at that big White House or whatever it's called? That's called a ritual that they were doing. Then they did a ritual vote or whatever to give another, whatever, your grandkids money that's just being pissed away, because they're changing the money, by the way. So you're gonna have, it's called central bank digital currency, CBDC. That's coming because they got to reset you. See, you're being reset. It's not a theory. But let's get back to World War III, which you're in, by the way, according to the Pope. I've been tagging everything World War III since I felt it was World War III, because fifth generation war isn't your grandfather's war no more. If this Siberian garbage, which, by the way, weather weapons are very real. They've been using them here since Vietnam War. We were controlling floods. That's how old this technology is, by the way. If Siberia, Russia, sent this Arctic, let's just pretend this is a movie, and the lights do go out, because every single state in the lower 48 is going to be 0, except Florida is going to have like 10 degrees or whatever you are. Who cares about Florida? Anyways, no offense, Florida. You guys are warm. Anyways, you're not doing this garbage I'm doing, like protecting your chickens. Anyways, but you get hurricanes, so I'll go after myself. Anyways, if Russia sent this down and then they take, let's say, half the country's grid down, and a lot of people freeze to death, and then, by the way, doesn't the Russians, don't they take baths in the Siberia in the water, right in this cold? Like, I'm wearing a couple of layers of clothes. They'd be out here naked and laughing at you. You ever see those big Russians? Could you imagine if I'm just saying in the movie, like, I'm going to do a video in a little bit on this, if all those tankers, or whatever you call those cargo containers, millions of them, are sitting off the boat, all 3 corners of us, by the way, filled with remember the chinks of the armor I was talking about? Filled with armors of, reverse that, mirror. And they throw a couple 100 million, or whatever, 10 million, whatever. And all of a sudden, while you got no power and you're starving to death, freezing to death, all of a sudden there's all these red flags in your yard. What a crazy movie that would be. I'd call it Red Dawn 2.0. USA version. Anyways, if you're not warm, you ain't gonna be alive tomorrow, said Edward. Have a great day. Have a plan or something, or don't. Just pretend it's 1999.